I don't know, I'm not a nutritionist. I love them, I think they're great.
Hey everyone, this is Meg Joy, and welcome to Make With Me. So today's recipe is super duper simple, and it's chia jam. And I made some last week. You can see it right here. This is plums. And like I said in the peach salsa video, peaches have been really cheap, so today I'm making peach jam. And I'm throwing in these apples because they're getting old and gross. So this recipe, all you need is a pot, some fruit, some lemon juice, and chia seeds. It's literally everything you need to make your own jam at home. So I'm gonna go ahead and chop this fruit up and get it into my pot. What's so fun about using chia seeds to make jam is it means you don't need to use any of the other things that you normally use to thicken it. So normally when you're making jam, you have to add a fair amount of sugar and you have to add some type of gelatin or thing that will make it sticky and thick. And so the chia seeds are great because they absorb the water and they, kind of just become big and gooey and gelatinous and hold the jam together, and so you don't have to add anything extra. And the chia seeds themselves have fiber and a little bit of protein in them. And some people are super into chia seeds being healthy. I don't know, I'm not a nutritionist. I just know I like how they taste. I like how they make my yogurt and my jam and stuff turn out. So I love them. I think they're great. So I don't know if you can see, I guess it's out of focus there, but you can see this peach is getting kind of gross. It's got big bruises all over it. And for the peach salsa, I tried to pick out the nicer ones that didn't have as big of bruises because we're eating those peaches fresh. They're not gonna get cooked. If there's like a big rotten bruise in it, we might taste that and it might taste weird. But these peaches, I'm gonna cook them. And so I don't really care if they have spots on them unless they're like moldy or actually like bad. But if they're just bruised and brown, that's fine with me. And I actually love here, the produce here in Azerbaijan is pretty inexpensive to begin with. When produce starts to go bad, instead of just throwing it away, like most of the time we would in the States, they put it in a big box and they just make it cheaper. Because they know there's loads of people here that are gonna be doing stuff just like what I'm doing right now. And so if you're making a pie or jam or just anything where you're gonna cook the fruit or chop it up real small, or honestly, even if you're just putting it in a recipe but you're gonna use it like that night, you can get brown and bruised fruit and just use it up. Food waste can seem really overwhelming and like we don't know how to combat it. But if you can go even at your local grocery store, our Kroger in West Virginia, they had a shelf that was for uglies and things that were about to go bad. And so in the produce section at our Kroger, you could just go and they would have like, there were potatoes there a lot. We saw a lot of grapefruit. Once there were avocados, they got apples from there, and they're significantly reduced compared to buying the normal one. And you have to get them in bulk. There's 4 or 5 that would be in a bag, so you can't pick them out one by one. Or if you know a local grocer or a local like farmer that would have a produce stand, you can go and ask them and say, hey, when your fruit's no longer at the point that you feel like you can sell it and make a good profit off of it like that you normally would, can I buy it from you at a discounted rate? And that way you're getting a good deal because you're not having to pay full price for this fruit, but also you're doing something good for the planet. I'm turning this on and I'm gonna leave it kind of like a medium low. And I'm gonna go ahead and squeeze in half a lemon. Well, about, maybe this is like a third of my lemon. But that's enough. I think this would come out to a couple of teaspoons of lemon juice, maybe as much as a tablespoon. And the citric acid in the lemon will help the fruit break down as it cooks. We'll just stir this up. Probably put it on low. And I'm gonna pop the lid on so none of the liquid escapes, and we'll just let that simmer there. Probably for about 10 minutes. You don't want the fruit to burn to the bottom of your pan, so keep a pretty close eye on it and make sure that the juices are coming out. You can add a little bit of water and that'll get hot and kind of help break down your fruit as well. So we'll come back and check on this in a couple minutes. So I let this cook for about 10 minutes. And the peaches are doing really great and they're kind of falling apart. The apples, they've become kind of translucent, so I can tell they're cooking, but they're not cooking quite as quickly as I would like. And I think too, they're just not gonna fall apart very well or anything. So you wouldn't have to do this. When I made the plums, I didn't blend it at all. I just let it cook and stirred it up. And with peaches, I think it would be pretty much the same thing, but especially with the apples in there, I'm gonna plug this in and give it a little blend with this immersion blender so that it can all kind of just come together and be more ready for the chia seeds. All right, there we go. We have a pretty liquidy jam. Oh, it smells really good. It smells really delicious. If you want, you can add honey or the sweetener of your choice to make it a little bit sweeter. I'm gonna try some. It's a little tart, but I think I like it the way it is. So I'm gonna leave that, and then I'm going to add the chia seeds. So this recipe sort of works on a ratio, and the way it is you want about 1 tablespoon of chia seeds for every cup of fruit that you put in. So I have about 2 cups of fruit here, so I'm gonna put in about 2 tablespoons of chia seeds. And then give them a stir. If you've ever used chia seeds in anything before, you'll know right at the beginning, you might not notice a huge difference in texture or in the seeds because they have to take time to absorb the liquid and become a little bit thicker. But you go ahead and put it in your jar. And there we go. Here's our jar of jam. And right now it's just kind of like liquidy and lumpy, but as the chia seeds swell up, it'll have more of that jam texture. And in this peach jam, because they're lighter colored, you can see the chia seeds, they kind of come out to be gray, and maybe you might not like the way that looks. And so if you want, you can blend them into the jam and they'll disappear a little bit. In the darker colored stuff like the plum one, it doesn't really make a difference at all. And for me, I'll probably just leave these the way they are. Super easy, do it yourself, chia jam. I hope that you get a chance to try this. Let me know if you try it with some other fruit. You might find out your liquid to solids ratio needs to be a little bit different, and I would love to know that because as different fruits come into season, I'll be making this with different kinds of fruit this year. If you want to see more of these videos and more make with me's, which some will be cooking, but some might be crafts or home decor, just click the subscribe button and please feel free to like this video so it can get to more people on YouTube and more people can make amazing food just like this. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.